Good evening and welcome to Saving Democracy. Tonight, I would like to discuss the recent school shooting we had here in Parkland, Florida. I live right outside of that, probably about by 15 miles. Um, the thing that I think we should really delve into um, is this whole notion that it's not guns that kill people, it's people that kill people. And obviously that term is real. There's no way to kind of counter that argument other than just to say what guns should we have versus the guns that we have now. I'm specifically targeting the AR-15. Now, the AR-15 rifle is designed for one purpose and one purpose only. It is designed to kill multiple targets. Now, if you were using it for hunting, that would mean if you had like 30 to 40 deer in front of you and you wanted to hit all 30 to 40. Or you wanted to kill one deer and you were just a really bad shot. There is absolutely no reason for anybody that is a civilian to be walking around with the AR-15 rifle. This rifle is the number one choice for mass shooters, whether it be the San Bernardino shootings, um, Columbine, the recent shooting that we had here. Yes, there was different weapons used, but as you can see, more and more, the number one weapon that's being used is the AR-15. Now, I'm not suggesting that we lose all our weapons. As an American citizen and as a concealed weapon carry, I do believe that we should be allowed to have the right to bear arms. However, I think we need to be a little, I guess the word I'm looking for is sensible about what guns we allow our citizens to run around with. I mean, why stop at the AR-15? This is my point. Why should I stop at the AR-15? Why can't I have a bazooka? Or, quite frankly, why can't I have outside of my house a cruise missile? I don't know if the neighbor, has a better gun than I do. So I want to go to the best possible scenario I can. I mean, that sounds ridiculous when you hear it, but the reality is that's what the AR-15 rifle is. It's ridiculous. The argument from hunters, sportsmen, anybody is insane. It makes no sense. There is no reason in the world that any civilian should be armed with this rifle. We as Americans are just not responsible enough to be able to run around with assault weapons. We're just not. That's why they were banned. And quite frankly, when I grew up, you had shotguns, you had 30-06s, and people that went hunting used those weapons. And if you were going to go and try to commit mass murder, you're talking about a single bolt action rifle and a double barrel shotgun. You're not going to kill 17, 20, 52 people when you have these type of weapons. So again, I'm not saying let's take away the weapons. I'm not a crazy liberal that wants to come rip your guns out of your hands. And I don't think a politician wants to do that as well. I think the thing we need to come to is what is sensible and what isn't. I mean, how many lives need to be taken from this type of a weapon before we decide to take action? I mean, we just had 52 people shot and killed in Las Vegas, over 500 injured. I mean, when does it stop? When do we say enough is enough? How many children have to die before we say we've had enough? I mean, I could not imagine being one of those 17 parents knowing my child's not coming home today. And let's talk about why that happened. It's not like this kid was, this glowing child going through life. This person had mental problems, and there was red flags. He was posting on it, and everybody wants to put the blame on the FBI or the school or this or that. I'll tell you where the blame lies: the fact that he was able to buy an AR-15 rifle. Not one person is upset by that. Have we lost our minds? How can a mentally handicapped person who's posting on the internet that he wants to become a school shooter, a professional school shooter, able to go online and purchase a weapon or walk into a store and buy this weapon? In this state of Florida, I can go tonight and buy this gun and take it home tonight. No cooling off period, nothing. So if I'm upset at my wife or my children or anybody for that matter, I can run down to the store, buy this gun, come back, and mow down my entire family. And guess what? And when the police show up, I can hold them off because they're not armed when they first arrive as first responders to handle someone with that kind of a weapon. Why in the world would we put a weapon in the hands of civilians that the police officers are outgunned? Did we not learn our lessons in this? I mean, we've seen this time and time again. And yet, the NRA will get all up in arms and start screaming at the top of its lungs. The sad thing about this is tonight, people are running out to buy the AR-15 rifle. I guarantee you. That's what happens when these shootings happen, because people that are uneducated think that someone's coming after their weapons. So they run out and they go and buy these weapons. Now, I have some statistics I printed out here. I just want to go over these with you so that there's no misunderstanding of what I'm talking about. This is the actual number of Americans that are killed annually by, and I'm going to go from the top and read to the bottom. And this is from the CDC. Islamic jihadist immigrants. 2 Americans annually killed. Far right-wing terrorists. 5 Americans killed per year. All Islamic jihadist terrorists, including U.S. citizens, 9 American citizens. Armed toddlers, 21 American citizens. Lightning, 31 American citizens. Lawnmowers, 69 American citizens. Being hit by a bus, 264 American citizens. Falling out of your bed, 737 American citizens. And finally, being shot by another American, 11,737 Americans per year. Now, if that doesn't say we need to at least sit down and discuss what we're doing wrong here, because it's glaring. It jumps out at you. And I'm appalled that I have to sit here and tell my son, my 14-year-old son, what to look for if he sees a backpack laying around or someone looks strange and they don't look right. Do you realize how bad this could get? When we go into a movie theater for the premiere of a movie, we just went to see the last Star Wars, I'm pointing out to my children, both of them, where the nearest exits are. I'm thinking in my head over and over again, what am I going to do if there's an active shooter? All because we want to say that we should allow people to run around with a weapon that is supposed to be used by the military. This isn't a civilian weapon. This is a military grade weapon. And we allow American citizens who, quite frankly, can't even drive a car right to handle a weapon. Now, again, like I said, I'm not trying to take your guns away from you. I'm not. And now the argument will come, well, what if they have a 9mm, handgun? I agree. There's got to be, a medium here. But I can tell you something. Someone in there with a 9mm pistol is not going to do the damage that someone walking in there with an AR-15 rifle. I guarantee it. And so what do? We yell about it, we talk about it, we cry about it, we talk to our kids about it, and in a few days, we go back to normal. And then the next shooting happens, and the next shooting, and the next shooting. I really thought when Sandy Hook happened that was going to be the turning point to weapons here in the United States. And again, like I said, I don't want my weapons taken from me, and I don't want your weapons taken. But I want you to be able to own a weapon, but not a weapon of mass destruction. And that is what the AR-15 rifle is. They don't allow the TAC-9 either. So you're going to allow the AR-15, but you're not going to allow the TAC-9? I mean, honestly, they're the same gun. It's just the TAC-9 has a better fire rate. This is a precipice here where we need to write to our congressman and scream it from the rooftops that we're not going to take this anymore. We have the Me Too movement going on right now for the women, which is fantastic. Well, we need to start something for these children. Because I got to tell you, I'm sick and tired of putting the television on night after night after night and hearing about people who their high school, grade school, kindergarten children are being massacred because we live in a culture that is extremely violent to start with. Every movie is violent. Every television show is violent. Every video game is violent. And I get it. It's what the Americans want. It's what we need. It's what we crave. We crave that violence. We always have. It's in our nature. We're a violent people. So why arm us with a weapon that is so well designed to kill at such a high rate? I don't understand that. And I would love for people to comment and give me your arguments back. And again, I'm not trying to, you know, put anybody down or anything like that. But I've heard hunters and, saying we need armor piercing bullet. For what? What are you hunting? Do the deer run around in Kevlar vests? And, I'm not a hunter. I don't understand that. Why would you need armor piercing bullets? And why in the world would we let someone have armor piercing bullets? So that some crazy person can go on a rampage and then the police can't even stop this person? I mean, we do not learn from these events. We see things happen. It's not like we don't see this happen over and over and over again. I'll tell you, the only person who's learning in this whole process is the next shooter. This person, who they claim is crazy, wasn't too crazy because he was smart enough to pull the fire alarm so that he could get maximum people running out. And the next person that's watching this and watched how the police responded and how the children came out is going to do something even better. But there's one side that doesn't learn, and that's us. We continue to let people have these weapons, knowing full well that they're not going to use it for anything other than creating havoc if that's what they decide to do. Now, I'm not saying every person that owns an AR-15 rifle is going out to shoot people. I understand that. And if you want to go to a range and rent an AR-15 rifle where you're at a range and you can shoot it there, fine. I'm okay with that. But you can't take it home with you. I want to read some other statistics to you that are quite scary. On average, there are nearly 13,000 gun homicides a year in the United States. On average, 50 women are shot to death by intimate partners in the United States. This gun thing is also a major problem in domestic abuse and domestic violence situations. The presence of a gun in a domestic violence situation increases the risk of the women being killed by 5 times. Think of that. 5 times. And I got to say this. I don't see too many girls running around blowing away their classmates. So, this is majority a male problem. And I think we need to re-look at this whole situation and decide, as a society, are we going to continue to go down this road where we're going to bury children over and over and over again and not learn from our mistakes? We haven't learned from one, since Columbine, we haven't learned our lesson. It's ridiculous when you think about it. It would be the equivalent of stopping wearing your seatbelts. Just driving around aimlessly, and then when you get in an accident, you just whip through the windshield. That's how stupid allowing people to run around with an AR-15 rifle is. Now, I don't have a lot of followers on here yet. I hope to get some soon. But if you are listening to this podcast and you disagree with what I have to say, by all means, I would love to have a debate on this. I need to hear the other side of what that argument could possibly be. Because the statistics are against any argument that's being made. And again, I'm for guns. I want to be very clear of that. I want you to have weapons to protect yourself, to protect your home, to protect your children, to protect your family. I'm all about it. But I don't think you have an army of people coming for you. And if you do, well, that's your problem. Well, I don't know what else to say on this right now, other than if you do want to comment on this, I will respond to all comments. I appreciate you tuning in. I wish you well. And everyone, if you have your child, I would say to hug them, tell them you love them, and let them know that things are going to be okay. And hopefully the adults will get it right, because we're failing them right now. We are failing them. Good night.